So at the very beginning, this was around 2 years back, I was feeling something incomplete, and I also felt that the Uthra that I am, that I know, can achieve more. Something missing that was stopping me from getting there. There was so much self doubt and low self confidence. Weight gain and all that was secondary. Most important thing that was bothering me was this lack of self confidence, and that's how the journey began.
The trigger was low self confidence and low self esteem and not feeling like yourself. What prompted you to take up coaching? Like, why did you think a coach was needed?
All through your life, say your childhood, adolescence, there is somebody looking out for you. Your parents, your siblings, relatives are all looking out for you, and actually more than anything, friends inspire you. I'm a person who always went out with a big gang, and we also talk with each other, and that influence is also there beyond a point. So I got married, I had children. Both the husband and the wife, both of us as a couple, had challenges ourselves, each as an individual. So when we have individual challenges, how do we then look out for each other? It gets tricky in that stage. I'm in my 30s and with 2 children and a husband, and everything is new. We don't have support close by. We live far away from home. So where is that voice that is telling you, take care, giving you those little, be your amma or appa or somebody is telling you every day. அது இல்லை இல்லையா? So then, and I'm also somebody that is very strongly opinionated. I'm only listening to me more than anybody else. Personality of mine that I don't easily listen to people who are very close to me. So even in college and all that, if a teacher tells me, some third person tells me out of their own experiences, then I listen. So when this happened, actually first I saw a short video of you, of your challenges and where you started to where you began, the transformation. And that video was, it's not just the weight loss that drew me towards it. There was also something that said about your challenges in also the emotional rhythm. So that's what drew me towards, okay, and I think I need somebody like that. I'm a dancer and I've chosen to be a full-time dancer. My body is my vessel. It has to communicate, it has to transport the audience to somewhere else. It has to also transport myself to somewhere else. So it's feeling, I was dancing. I had reached a stage where I couldn't even pick myself up from a murmandi, or I didn't feel, stable enough to dance. I recorded myself and watched myself. I didn't want to watch myself. Not because I could be more creative or anything. I knew there was an Uthra that could do this better, but I'm not there yet. So that is with regard to dance. I like the traditional wear, to look Indian traditional wear pidikkum, because we also moved abroad. There's the freedom and independence to also dress according to weather, right? So I like to wear my shorts, tank tops and everything. And there had come a time where I was restricting myself. So becoming very conscious about these things. Yeah, that's where I was body wise. I had big dreams, and I dream had those dreams, but immediately there'll be a voice telling me, one will be, what will he say, what will she say, what will amma say, appa says, or a friend says. That is one thing. And next is my own that Uthra, you can't do it. I was also telling myself, are you disciplined enough to achieve this? நீ எப்போவுமே லேட்டாக தூங்குவ, நீ எனிவே லேட்டாக தான் எழுந்துக்க போகிற, நீ எங்கே எழுந்துக்க போகிற. தட் ஹோல் திங் வித் ஸ்லீப். The Uthra that I know lacks discipline and therefore cannot reach these dreams. நால இதே பண்ண முடியல, எப்படி, how can I reach these big dreams? அப்படி ஒரு இது. That was my biggest mindset challenge. It was also very hard for me. I was also telling myself, I'm not enough. I need to be more. To whoever, myself, and then the people around me, through the things that they said or did, even my own experiences, there was a voice in me telling me, you're not enough. These two were my main challenges. How do we see people who have achieved something? I used to think அவ நிறைய பண்ணியிருக்கா, but like as though it happened overnight, you know. You look at a person and you think, okay, this has happened because they did this, and it happened overnight. It's not the case. What I learned through this the coaching is that it takes time to get to where you'd like to get. That is number one. Another really important thing is when you think you have to achieve something, even I was like this, எல்லாம் perfect-ஆ இருக்கணும். I would beat myself up about this. Let's take just the sleep thing. So if I kept an alarm at 6 o'clock and I didn't wake up at 6 and it was just 6:30 or 7, I would simply beat myself up that நான் ஏன் இன்னைக்கு இதை decide பண்ணி I decided that it should be at 6 and I didn't wake up at 6. If I danced a piece, there are little imperfections. Even while dancing, no, I would forget and stop, and I would beat myself up for that. I'll rewind and play it again and again and again. I'm telling myself inside, you're not able to do it. You are not correct. Your memory is not good. These are my voices. When I joined the coaching, first thing was 10 minutes panna pod. 15 minutes every day panina. Illa 15 minutes thrice a week or a workout panina. So you see progress. This was huge for me. All or nothing, right? So அது ரொம்ப I had it. If I don't have 1 hour or 2 hours to do my dance practice, I wouldn't even begin. I won't even show up because there's no 2 hours. Today I knew I will have only 15 minutes. I showed up. I was like 15 minutes. I got it and I feel good. I finished it and I'm like, I did it. I showed up. I checked my dance practice today. So this is a big thing that I learned with regard to the 10,000 steps that I want to get, or my workout, eating the right thing on a plate. Would be a night off that we had a dinner invite or something, and that's just one day out of the whole week. Now I don't have to beat myself about it for the whole week. I still got the other days in, right?
So share with us about your body composition changes and also how your perception about weight loss would be has changed.
There wasn't a time that I was coming back and saying I want to reach this number or anything. My posture, as a dancer, you think you'd always be here, but I did have the place where if I was photographed or videographed, there were places where I used to have a slight hunch and I would be here. Slowly through the coaching, what I saw when I was photographed is something was naturally changing. I was not going and putting myself with a straight and the posture, it was changing here. I've never thought that I would sport a bikini. Okay, you see, the beautiful thing about this journey is it's been so consistent that I have to be reminded about how I felt 2 years back, because because it's so few little steps ahead that now I feel all these have always been natural. It was not like that. Actually, all through my school, I was very obsessed that I had a big back, like a big pelvis, and I'm disproportionate. I would joke about my own body to my friends. My friends also would call me, you know, the big butt of Dana. I would never dream that I would wear a bikini. I'm like, no, I'm not going to expose my back. So last June, there was an invite from my friend for a 40th birthday party. There was a rule. They were like only 2 pieces. It was very thrilling because I was the first one who was so excited about this, because I felt body-wise, I'm ready. I'm there. Shopping was so exciting. I don't know if the birthday girl spent that much time shopping, but I did. I proudly presented myself in my 2-piece, and I hadn't dreamed that I would get there. There was a moment where I would send you, every time I finish a workout, I'd send you pictures, and then there was a time where, hey Uthra, I can see your ab lines. I didn't even know that is possible. So those are things that are, even today when if I'm telling myself, hey, do I want to work out or not, I just transport myself to this 2-piece picture or that ab picture, saying, motivating myself that yes, let's get our 15 minutes in today. So having a coach just for you, personalized, one-on-one, and every conversation with Sri Vidya has been, I was able to open up trust completely and open up really personal things. After you're married and have children, a partner has their own challenges, your parents have their own challenges, and we are, most importantly, we are away from them. So, how much can you lean on these people for support? They themselves need their own support. This was so important. And don't you think you need a person who is outside of your bubble to look at you? You need that third perspective to see you, to have that eye on you. And you constantly rely on people who are also traveling your own journey, then it becomes difficult for them to see your side. So a coach, Srividya, was somebody who's outside and could have that eye, and also had her own experiences. So there was a lot that she could also pick up from her own experiences to tell me. The journey has been so beautiful. I can tell you, when it started with sleep. My movement became very important, workout, apron losing weight, seeing physical changes were so important. Hey Srividya, workout நான் achieve பண்ணிட்டேன். First thing in the morning பண்றதுக்கு எனக்கு dance பண்ணணும். I want to get my body in shape so I can feel confident and be able to pick myself up and watch myself do a good piece. So I want to get my dance practice in order, and that has become now second nature to me. All this, I've reached a stage so beautiful where now I'm actually coming to Srividya for my stress and anxiety management. Why I'm here is because of this journey. These things have made me aware. I must have been tackling stress and management in my own way somehow. I don't know. I was not aware. Coaching has taught me to, okay, I'm feeling something is not right, and I would go to her during our call asking, what is it, why am I not feeling? And she would point out to me, oh, this looks like a burnout, Uthra, or this is stress, you are feeling anxiety, let's see how slowly you can overcome this challenge. It's been so organic, and we never forced it. She never forced it on me. This is also one very big thing. I'm not a person who easily listens to somebody outside of me. So, because I need to be the person telling myself to do something. Srividya, the best part is she does not tell you do things. She's not a coach, like, it's not a teacher, Amma. She's telling you how you can tell yourself. The voice will come from you. You will drive your car towards this journey of finding the new you. She will simply be that person sharing probably the seat next to you, or navigating you precisely to get to the new you. And that's what I loved about it. It completely matched my personality. And even today, my mother or my husband also teases, you listen to your coach only. You'd like you to make your own decisions about your life. You know yourself best. You just need somebody who can give you that little push, little move forward. You got this. Even when we are little, our parents or our teachers think that telling us you're not enough, it's not good, if you don't do more, it's not good. Negative reinforcement will help you. We've all been trained like that, I think. That actually really shatters you. Every time Srividya would say, even if I didn't show up that day, there would be, good job, Uthra, you did it yesterday, no? You'll show up tomorrow. You listened to yourself and you took a day off. Positive reinforcements, it does a huge difference. It makes a huge difference in the long run when somebody is constantly be able to appreciate you for your little wins. Pat yourself on the shoulder for that. Don't think about what didn't happen. Think about what did happen, and then that is just one little step forward. Not a place where you should come to see in 2 weeks what change I can see. No, you give yourself the time. Do it healthily. Give yourself the time. All through our life, how much time we give everyone else around us, not just your children or parents-in-law or parents, husband. You actually, sometimes when you think about it, you go out of your way for that friend, that third person also you do spend a lot of time, but you have to actually sit and wonder, did you spend time, that time did you give yourself? This journey is for people who want to give themselves that time and consistently see a new you. That's what I loved about it. When it came to dance, my body was the first thing. When I do my normal adabus, I should be able to sit in an aramandi, get up, murmandi and get up. That shift I immediately saw. There would be a voice in me always telling me, before I get into a murmandi, Uthra, you can't do it. That voice disappeared. Like to watch myself. I had an expectation in my mind that these movements would look a certain way when I do this, and it was not happening. After a few months of coaching and my workout and movement, I realized that doing strength and being fit itself would naturally get your movements clearer. When I started watching myself, I'd be like, okay, I didn't exactly do anything different. I was doing the same movement, but now it looks better because it has more accent, it is more defined. Simply because of strength. I did have to lose some weight for it to become more defined. Creativity. You can go and present yourself, present a new idea only if you're confident enough to build a new idea. I was telling myself, Uthra, you don't know enough to create your own. So recently I had to work on a solo piece, and this was just it came to me by chance. I didn't have a long time to work on it. I think I had 2 weeks to do it. The old Uthra would have said, only 2 weeks are there, give up, don't do it. And I would have gone and said, I'm not doing it, let's just do the other group things and get it over with. But because of these mindset changes, so leave the body, you'll see how much your mind can lead you either in the right, or it can really push you to the wrong. I was only telling myself the little wins every day. That's only my sentence all through these 2 weeks. I was fighting anxiety. Time was too short to achieve what I want. How do I tell myself it's okay? I told myself, okay, these are what I learned, right? Okay, Uthra, today if you're able to do one line new, choreograph one idea new, you've done it. Clap for yourself. That's it. That's all I did. And I went through all 10 days like that. I performed happily. Idea sold my new piece that I've never choreographed something like that before. Not a traditional piece. It was completely new. When I think about it, that's all it took. Just telling me, if you do little bit today, you've won it. And then I moved forward. This is huge for me as a dancer and my dance practice. Just knowing that it takes time and consistency. You may have 3 hours today to go in your studio and do your thing and come back. The day after tomorrow, I have not achieved that much. What helps you more is showing up every day, or showing up the days that you've decided to, thrice a week or 2 times a week. That shows at the end of the day the change that you have wanted to achieve. It's just when I do my normal adabus, I should be able to sit in an aramandi, get up, murmandi and get up. That shift I immediately saw. There would be a voice in me always telling me, before I get into a murmandi, Uthra, you can't do it. That voice disappeared. When I watched myself, I didn't used to like to watch myself. I had an expectation in my mind that these movements would look a certain way when I do this, and it was not happening. After a few months of coaching and my workout and movement, I realized that doing strength and being fit itself would naturally get your movements clearer. When I started watching myself, I'd be like, okay, I didn't exactly do anything different, but now it looks better because it has more accent, it is more defined. And it's simply because of strength and losing. I did have to lose some weight for it to become more defined. Creativity. You can go and present yourself, present a new idea only if you're confident enough to build a new idea. Uthra, you don't know enough to create your own. So recently I had to work on a solo piece, and it came to me by chance. I didn't have a long time to work on it. I think I had 2 weeks to do it. Old Uthra would have said, only 2 weeks are there, give up, don't do it. And I would have gone and said, I'm not doing it, let's just do the other group things and get it over with. Because of these mindset changes, so leave the body, you'll see how much your mind can lead you either in the right or it can really push you to the wrong. I was only telling myself this little wins every day. Only my sentence all through these 2 weeks. I was fighting anxiety. I was incredibly anxious that the time was too short to achieve what I want. How do I tell myself it's okay? These are what I learned, right? Okay, Uthra, today if you're able to do one line new, choreograph one idea new, you've done it. Clap for yourself. That's all I did. And I went through all 10 days like that, and I performed happily, and my idea sold my new piece that I've never choreographed something like that before. It was completely new. This is huge for me, as a dancer. It takes time. Takes time and consistency. To all the women out there who feel something is not right, that I need help, I need somebody telling me wisdom. You need to think of this. If you're crossing the road, you're standing on one side of the road and you have all this traffic going haywire, and you're really that's how it is, right? There are so many things along the way, you're not able to see clearly, and take that first step to begin crossing that road. There is so much chaos. You have your personal life, your challenges, your work challenges, everything. What would you do? You would look for somebody who can hold your hand and walk across the road to reach the other side. You really need to think of it, this journey, like that. There are some things that you need not be able to do by yourself. I think we also live in a time when we've been told as women that you can do this also, you can take multiple roles, oh, you can do a full-time job, and you can cook a great meal for your children, and you can do this when your husband is not even present. Oh wow, then there is a whole audience that is clapping for you. But where? Who gives you an award? Are they coming to you the next day to buy you your vegetables, or are they standing next to you in the kitchen? No, you're doing it alone. It's really glorified that a woman today can take all these roles and be able to do this and that and that. You can take help. It's okay to take help. You'd be able to do this happily. In all this taking multiple roles, I think sometimes even the people who are looking from outside are only seeing that she's able to do all this, but they are not saying, is she happy doing all this? If you are missing that happiness, that self-confidence, able to see myself glow and shine, invest in it, take support, get help always. So that is very important.